Welcome back to Zero to Power Seller. In the last few episodes, we talked about keywording, titling, how to take items from Craigslist and flip them on eBay, some good underground techniques for boosting your traffic, boosting your rankings, and boosting your feedback. Now we're going to move on to an alternate plan, something a little different than Craigslist. We're going to use the same tools to produce even greater results with an alternate way of doing the same thing. Auctions. Now, let's say you couldn't find anything on Craigslist that day, or you just were getting tired of it and you needed a change of pace, but you wanted to get some product and still needed to flip it and make some money on eBay. All across our nation, every day, there are live auctions. And the easiest way to find these is by going to a site, and it's easy to remember. It's auctionzip.com. Here you can find auctions nationwide and all over North America, and even in your own backyard. Now we're going to find an auction, and we're going to go to it. We're going to physically go and buy product to show you how this is done. So first, we need to find the auction. That's where AuctionZip comes in. So we're going to go up to the search area and change it to a 50-mile radius and put in a zip code. Now, you can search for keywords or you can search for specific auction types, but usually I just want to find any live auctions I can. Now you have the calendar, and this tells you all the auctions that are happening on any given day. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so we're going to look at Wednesday's auctions. As you can see, there's 30 auctions set up on Wednesday. Now, some of those are still going to be online, even though they're going to be in the section for live auctions, but we're going to focus on the live ones so you can see the condition and understand on these used items what we can clean up, what's photogenic, what's not going to be photogenic, and really just dig in and do a little deeper research at the auction itself. And this will move on to our search results. Now, looking at the search results, these are all the auctions going on Wednesday. Now, you can see the city and state, which will all be within your 50-mile radius, and the time of the auction. With times, lots of times, you can go to multiple auctions in one day. Now, many of these are going to be online auctions. Usually when you see the bidding opening and closing on the same day, it's an online auction. If you don't notice that, you'll be able to quickly find out once you get in there and start digging. But we're looking for public auctions and estate auctions primarily. Those are the ones where we get the best deals. And here's one. Now we're going to check this one out and see what we got going on. Looks like they've got some vehicles and a lot of good stuff there. And there's your address, your time, and always remember the preview times are important. You want to get there early so you have time to look at everything before everybody starts bidding. Because when everybody's bidding, you're not even going to be able to get to the tables. Now, some of the research you can do before you even get to the auction site for the preview. You can do it online. As we scroll down and see, you can take a look at just the different items that are highlighted in the auction. These aren't going to be everything, just some of them. But as you can see, auctioneers don't put a lot of detail into their lists. So where you want to click is View Photo Gallery. Once you go there, you're going to get a visual of what's actually at the auction. And you can also see some other things that are in the box lots and figure out what some of the featured items are actually selling for online. Auctioneers have horrible photos and descriptions, so this is where you have the opportunity to do better than the other bidders in the auction. You're going to have some research done ahead of time. So let's dig in and pick an item. We're going to start with this DW Raymond pocket watch right here. Now, we're going to start our research by simply copying and pasting the title into eBay. And this will give us an idea of what's available from that maker. And I know they're not a modern brand, so these are all going to be vintage, and there's going to be a lot of variation. So as we look down, they have a lot of different watches. Some of them are similar, some of them are a lot different. But we're going to go ahead and look at the sold items so we can see what they're actually selling for. And while we're waiting on that to load, we're going to go back to get a better visual of what we're actually looking at with our watch. Now, the key features we're going to be looking at are the crown, the dial, which has Roman numerals for numbers, and the hands, which are pretty fancy on this one. So let's go ahead and take a look at eBay and see if we can find something similar. Now, we can already see some similar watches, but as you can see, the faces are at a 90-degree angle from what ours is. So we're going to keep looking a little bit. And if we don't see anything right away, we're going to go lowest first and get an idea how low a BW Raymond watch can sell for. So at this point, we're going to scroll down and get past the parts. And there's one, $24 plus $11.55 shipping. So we know as a baseline, if we bid up to $24, we're not going to lose any money. But the truth is, normally I would assume, based on what I saw in my initial research, that it's going to be worth closer to $100. But we might gamble a little bit, we might not. At this point, I'll stop researching this item, and I'll continue my research once I'm there at the auction and I can turn it over, I can get a good look at it, and I can figure out what exactly we're looking at. When it comes to planning your bids, I recommend 25% of what you plan on selling it for. This gives you a little bit of room if you're off on your research or it doesn't yield what you expect. It also gives you room for 10% in eBay fees, 3% in PayPal fees, whatever shipping charges you have, and whatever expense you have in packaging the item and getting it to your customer. In other words, if I sell this watch for $100 on eBay, I'm going to cap my bid around $25. That's 25%, just to make sure I'm not losing money on this auction. So the goal here is to ensure that there's enough product at this auction that you can buy and cover your fuel cost, your transportation cost, and everything involved in going to the auction in the first place. Now, the amount of money you bring to an auction is up to you. This is completely scalable. It doesn't matter if you have $100 to start with or $1,000 to start with. You can make a profit here. So we plan on attending this auction with $100 just to show you that we're doing this on a budget, just like you will. Now, we're just going to scroll through and research items. We've got swords and pipes. A lot of people don't know pipes can be worth a lot of money. Some of these pipes could be worth $200-300. Antiques. You've got vintage musical instruments. Guns. You can't really sell guns and ammo on eBay, but if you're well connected in your area, there's a lot of opportunity there as well at auctions. Now keep in mind, what you see isn't what I see. Different things are going to stand out to different people, but don't research just the items you like. You have to reach outside of your comfort zone and grab onto some of these items and go to eBay and actually look at what they're selling for. Because something that looks like junk to you might be one of the most valuable items at that auction. And if it looks like junk to you, chances are it looks like junk to other people. So that's where you find the big money, is the hidden treasures. The $500 items, the $100 items that sell for $1 or $2 in a box lot or $1 or $2 on a table. Remember, e-commerce all boils down to basic economics. Buy low, sell high. So we're going to spend the next couple of minutes going over some tips for when you actually show up to the auction. Pay attention to the people that are at the auction and pay attention to what they gravitate towards, because you can get an idea if tools sell way over what they sell for on eBay. If there's a lot of tool collectors, if there's a lot of Amish, if there's a lot of farmers in your area, tools go high. So pay close attention to, and don't get too involved in the bidding war because you want something. Lots of times these people are buying them for themselves. They're not buying them to resell. So they're not looking at that 25%. They're consumers, just like you're marketing towards, so they're willing to pay a lot more for what they get to use it, not to sell it. Today's eBay consumer buys with their eyes. They don't read the descriptions. They don't pay attention necessarily to what something is. They look at what looks good. That initial photograph is the most important part of your marketing. So you want to take high quality photographs and make sure the items you bring back from the auction are as clean as they can get and are restored to the level you're comfortable with before listing them on eBay. Keep in mind with some antiques, you don't want to restore them because it'll lower the value, but on other items, a little bit of extra work can go a long way in your eBay conversions. So the key points here: do your research, go to the auction, do some more research, look closely at the items, and don't forget the items you didn't research ahead of time. Buy low. Pay as low as you can for the items, because the lower your cost, the higher your profit. Clean it up. Make it look good. You make it look good, you take good quality photos, which you can do on an iPhone or a smartphone these days, your item's going to sell better than the next guy. Thank you for watching Zero to Power Seller, and we will see you at the auction.